Okay. All right, y'all. Happy Thursday, Friday Junior. Thank you all for being here. Once Maddie pulls it up, we're going to get right into it.
Okay, cool. So welcome everyone. We're so excited to be here. Thank you guys for hopping on. Welcome to the second training of this month for the Black History Month training presented by the BC Collective. A little bit about us. The BC Collective is a family of Black creators, creating a community to empower our sisters and brothers to break generational curses and to walk in their skin unapologetically. So just hopping right into it, we're going to go ahead and just introduce ourselves. My name is Bethany Eubanks. I joined Money in 2020, so I'm almost coming up on 3 years in March. I'm a single girl mom. I have a toddler. Pray for me. She'll be 4 in May. And I'm currently a stay-at-home mom. But I started this business because at the time I wasn't. I was working at a university as an admissions advisor full-time. So I really had no time to myself. I had no time with my daughter. I was gone all day, every day, Monday through Friday, sometimes Saturday mornings. So when I started this opportunity, I did it because I saw that it would really give me a life of not only financial freedom, but time freedom, which is what I needed the most. I got to the point where I was like, I'm really just trading time for money. And the math wasn't mathing because the money wasn't adding up to the amount of time I felt like was being taken away from me. So that's why I was like, I got to try this. I have nothing to lose. And now I'm a stay-at-home mom, able to take my daughter to school, her therapies, anything like that. I'm here and available, and I'm so grateful for that. So I'm going to go ahead and pass it off to Ashley.
Thank you. I just have to get my cute little snippet of you on my phone real quick. Hello, everyone. I'm Ashley Wilson. I started this business in March 2021. I actually started as a VIP from my girl and amazing mentor, Lex. So essentially, I met her. She used to do makeup at the Livingston Mall. So I'm just walking in, yada, yada, yada. We're chit-chatting. She did my makeup for a few different years. Followed her on IG, and then I started seeing her posting these products, and I'm just like, sis, what is this? I was like, of course, the first question that I asked, I was like, you got any pictures of Black girls using these products? Because it's important, right? Like, I've tried everything out under the sun, trust me. And I was like, you know what, this is a little bit more pricier. And I'm like, you know what, sis, I'm gonna trust you because you slay my makeup. And let me just try these products. Fast forward to me doing the business, right? So my motto is Netflix and business, not Netflix and chill, all of that. And I say that just because I'm someone who believes a lot in balance and balancing out your life, right? So when some people talk about, oh, don't watch Netflix because, that's 1 hour that you can work your business. Like, no, you deserve that 1 hour to relax if that's how you choose to relax. So I'm someone who my Netflix is up and I'm chit-chatting, I'm sending my cards or whatever it is I have to do. So I'm just me and my fur baby, single, no kids over here. Corporate baddie is what I like to call myself. So I have been, working, I guess, 9 to 5 for literally out of high school, right? So I recruit people for global corporations, literally from entry level. I've done internship work too, all the way up to executive level, literally across all departments. Currently, I am laid off from Meta, which is obviously Instagram, Facebook, etc. So yes, I was a part of the 40% of recruiters got laid off globally. Okay, so now I'm just doing this full-time entrepreneurship thing, and I started because I was just tired of living, paycheck to paycheck, like we all are. And, I was one of those people that always got told, oh, your leadership skills doesn't count for this, or we don't have enough budget, to promote you right now. So I said, I'm gonna promote myself. So that's why I'm here. And now I'm gonna pass it off to my girl, Ariane.
Hello. Welcome, everybody. We're so happy to have you here. Just a little bit about me. I am originally from Chicago, but now I am here in Texas. I started this business back in January 2020. But I really gave it a go and really saw what it was about when I got laid off from my waitressing job in March of 2020, when the pandemic happened and my job was no longer essential. I decided to really open that box and see what I had purchased and really just, learn about personal development, learn about myself in the time that I was stuck in quarantine alone. I learned how to level up and just, pour into myself and this business. I am a psychology major, studying that in school. I am also right now a preschool teacher assistant. So that is my full-time job. But the beauty of this is I'm able to, when I get off of work, like right now, pour into this business. And on the weekends and the holidays off from work, I have the whole summer off. So definitely going to be doing that. I've always been into beauty as far as makeup, wigs and stuff like that, but I knew nothing about natural beauty. And now it's literally all I talk about with these products, showcasing them, showcasing how to actually take care of your wigs and the importance of that, longevity with the products and stuff like that. So I'll be going into that a little bit later, but I'm going to pass it off to Maddie.
Hello. I don't talk a lot on Zoom, so bear with me. I started this business in September of 2020. I am a mom to be in March, so very soon. Little Pisces baby. We'll see how that does with my Aries self. It'll be interesting. For sure, gonna butt heads with that little girl. But I started this by just wanting to be a side hustle. Now I'm working towards it being full-time by the end of the year, hopefully by the end of my maternity leave, so then I can just say, deuces, I'm staying home with my child. I'm all about like the positive vibes, and it was a really big goal of mine, it still is, to make sure that all our, kings and queens wear their crown high, just because a lot of us wear our crown low for a little bit, but we shouldn't, because our hair is all beautiful. And if you don't feel like that, hit me up. I'll help you out. But I started this business because, like it says right there, my hair looked like a Cynthia doll. If you know Rugrats, that's how it was. It was see-through, bald spots. It was horrendous. But I saw my cousin doing it, and I was like, what are you doing? And she was like, oh, I'm doing Monet. I was like, say less, let me sign up. I was probably the easiest market partner to sign up. But yeah, that's a little bit about me, but I'm gonna pass it off to our girls.
Hey, hey. All right, guys. My name is Sierra. For all of you who don't know me, I started the business back in April of 2020, but I really didn't take it serious until like probably almost a year later. I had my son. I was pregnant with my son when I joined, and I was super sick, didn't have the energy to pour into the business, give it all I got. So when he was 6 months old, I decided, I'm going to try to make this work. I'd already seen progress from the product. I had shaved my head essentially back in November of 2019. And I just needed some help with my hair. I'm also a wife and a mom of 2. I have a daughter. She'll be 6 next week. I'm still trying to process this. And then I also have a son who turned 2 on Halloween. I'm a multi-business owner with my husband. I'm into like natural, non-toxic living, like the crunchy mom lifestyle, kind of crunchy, not crunchy, because we still like eat our fruit snacks and stuff over here. But I do my best in limiting that stuff. But so I felt like these products fell in line with, my values and my morals and stuff. So I gave it a shot. I did start the business for extra money because, like I said, I was pregnant with my son at the time, and my husband was working long days, long hours, driving an hour to work and an hour home. And so I was like, I've got to make this work. But now my main focus is obviously the money. We all want the money, but to help people of color realize like these products work for us, because like a few of us already said, like at first we were like, do those products work? I don't know about it, and they do. So now I'm just on the search of helping. Sorry, my kid's bedtime alarm. I'm just on a search to help people, love their hair and make the switch. Next slide, please. All right, so this is the stuff that we're going to talk about tonight. How people of color style their hair. We're going to talk about product knowledge, marketing and language, how to approach someone with textured hair, and hair porosity. Okay, so let's talk about how people of color wash their hair. So this really depends on style preference. We'll get into style next, but it really depends on how they style their hair. For me, I wash my hair about every 7 to 10 days, but some people do go longer. It just depends. I listen to my scalp. If my scalp is just itching and I'm digging in it, there's a hair. Like right now, I honestly need to wash my hair because I've been scratching my head. I'll go ahead and wash. But some people, don't have that issue. I naturally have a dry scalp. That's just my preference. Textured hair is naturally drier. So we want to make sure that we are helping people with hydration and moisture and making sure that they're getting those properties to help with their hair. Next is co-washing in between washes. So before I started using Monat, I would need to wash my hair, like it would, frizz out on the ends and stuff, and I didn't like the way it looked, so I would co-wash. And what that is I'll just take a conditioner and just do my ends. I wouldn't shampoo my scalp or anything like that. I would just co-wash my ends, detangle it, and then rinse it out and go about my day. We in Monat have had a co-wash product. It was an Only For You product. I've been trying to talk up the ladder to get this back because we need it. I've mentioned it to a few of the directors and stuff about getting that back in our hands. So hopefully cross our fingers that we can get that, because I loved our co-wash. I thought it was great. And then I was really sad when we didn't have it anymore. And then the last thing, if you see on the bottom, it says myth, dirty hair grows faster. So in our community, growing up, we heard, we wait 2, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, a month to wash our hair because dirty hair grows faster, is what we were told. I don't know where this myth came from or why, but all of us here know that a healthy scalp is what makes your hair grow and what makes your hair healthy. So those are a few things about washing our hair. Okay, so how we style our hair. Give me a second. I've got the little bar in the way. Okay, so we have no heat styling, protective styling, relaxed, and natural. So with no heat styling is something you could call like a wash and go. That's typically what I do with my hair. I will wash my hair, get out the shower, put my treatment products in, like my Rejuva beads or the leave-in, and then I put my styling products in, and then I let my hair air dry, and I go about my day. I'll fluff it, whatever, make sure that it's even, because a lot of the times it's not. But so that's a wash and go. You can also do a braid out or twist out. Basically, it just means you're not using any kind of heat on your hair. Next is heat styling. So we call just like straight hair a silk press. We also use the term blowout. And then we go into our protective styles, which is like braids, twists, wigs, sew-ins, extensions. All of those things are protective styles because it's protecting our natural hair. You'll see people like under, their wigs, they'll have their hair braided up so that way their hair is, put away. The ends aren't out to be damaged anymore. And that's protective styling. Next is relaxed styling. So we've seen a lot of the natural hair. I have actually not used a chemical straightener in probably almost 15 years now. I used to get them when I was a kid. We were told that, straighter hair is easier to take care of. We were kind of told that curly hair is too hard to take care of. You need to, get a perm, get a relaxer, and it's just, more convenient for us to deal with. Now, a lot of people are embracing the naturalness, and I love it. So last is natural, which obviously I just stated that part, but yeah. So like I said, I personally have been natural for probably almost 15 years now. Those chemicals, one, aren't good for your health. Think about it. Our scalp absorbs things, and if we're putting chemicals that can potentially harm us on our scalp. Like that's not, that's not good. So yeah, perms were better for manageability. All right, if you want to go to the next slide for me. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. My phone is making noises and I got the thing going on down here. All right, now we're going to talk about, well, these are just the different styles in like picture form so you guys can see. So you can see me as the first one was wash and go. That's okay. The wash and go. And then we have silk press with Ashley and Ariane. She does wigs a lot. And then Esther, she has locks. We've got sew-ins with Bethany, braids with Ariane, and then twist with Style by Cami. And these are people that are also in Mon 8 or use the products. All right, so we got protective style maintenance. I think Ariane is going to take over this part and give you guys a little
I got you. So I'm going to be talking about protective style maintenance. I obviously wear wigs a lot for the very reason that Sierra said. I love my natural hair. I love my curls, but I want to protect them. So I currently have, my hair braided underneath this wig right now, and I'm able to go through it with oil and stuff like that and just make sure that my scalp is moisturized as well. So I feel like a common objection, and we'll go over those later, but just briefly to touch on this is that I don't need products or I don't need anything like that because I'm wearing a wig, but a protective style is called a protective style for a reason. You still need to take care of your hair. You still need to give attention to your natural hair and keep it healthy. You don't want it to be healthy and then, damage it by being careless because of the protective style. So washing in between wig application with or without braids. So just recently, I did not want to unbraid my hair because that's a whole process within itself. If you know, you know. So I actually washed my hair with the braids in, and that's an option. Or, going ahead and going through the whole process, taking the braids out, doing a deep, hair mask, the ACV scrub, and all of that stuff. And as far as the apple cider vinegar scrub, if you are recommending to someone with wigs, this is absolutely should be in the cart, simply for the fact that a lot of the times we're applying glue right here, and that glue can still, cap or no cap under the wig, can get in your hair. And so the ACV scrub really, really goes in, and not only is it lifting up the dirt, the, dead skin cells and all that stuff, but it can get that glue residue out much easier and prevent you from ripping your edges out. So definitely recommend that in a cart for your girlies who love wearing wigs. And also dry shampoo. Dry shampoo is a really, really good product to recommend for someone who wears braids. If you're wearing braids for a long time, it's kind of like the co-wash situation. You're able to, freshen up your hair with the dry shampoo. It's really, really good for itchy scalp and stuff like that with the braids. And of course, applying the oil with the braids. And then washing and styling your expensive wigs. So if I'm going to be paying $300, $400, however much you're paying for your wigs, I personally do Amazon, so it's not as expensive, but I'm going out of my way to purchase for them to last. I don't want to have to keep purchasing over and over. So using the products to wash your wigs, when I wash my hair and I take it off and I do all the whole process, I typically wash the wig as well. So I use the products for that. The volume shampoo the shampoo and conditioner is a really, really good one for wigs. It brings them back to life and all that good stuff. Going in with a little brush and the scrub to get some of the glue off of the edges. So again, another use for the scrub. But yeah, the products are really, really good when it comes to that. And, the blowout cream for blow drying it. Like there's so many products in our product line that can also be used for wigs. And while they may feel like they can use anything else, it is better to use these because again, the longevity of the wigs. They will last you so much longer if you're taking care of them properly, using nice, clean products on that. So that is something that you can advertise, and you're more than welcome to share me, or if you have any questions about that to recommend to clients, I got you.
Sorry guys, I got carried away with my my Instagram story. All right, so let's go into product knowledge. We've got cleansing products. So these are the products that are going to be ideal for textured hair. We've got Super Nourish Duo. So as you know, the Super Nourish Duo has that oil component in it, which is really good. I love this shampoo and conditioner. I have recently been like using different products like the IR and Renew right now, but as soon as I run out, I'm going back to the Super Nourish Duo. My hair loves it. My hair type loves the Super Nourish Duo. Advanced Hydrating Duo, obviously, it's going to give that hydration that we need for curly hair. Smoothing Duo, Renew shampoo. Everyone knows Renew shampoo is, if you don't know what to start someone on, Renew shampoo is your go-to. That's going to be your basic, just like your basic go-to. IR, Clinical Shampoo and Conditioner. Both are really great. As far as the shampoo, I will say it is a little bit drying, as we talked about. Textured hair is on the drier side. So if someone is, wanting some hair growth and you do recommend the shampoo, I would also recommend Renew or another hydrating shampoo to go for their second wash. I honestly try to stay away from the IR shampoo because it is drying, and I just go with Renew. But both of those are great conditioner. I mean, the conditioner is also great because it has that the Wave Max, good grief, I'm getting tongue twisted. The Wave Max ingredient in it that helps with curly hair. Damage repair line, that is, for anybody who has, heat damage, perm damage, color damage, anything along those lines. You guys know that's a no-brainer. The repair line does wonders. But I do recommend, if you do recommend the damage repair line, that you let your client know that it's a treatment product rather than an everyday product. So it's something that you're not going to be using every single wash, maybe once or twice a month, maybe, but it's not something that they want to be using on a consistent basis. The Black 2-in-1, one of my favorites. I actually wash first with this. We all know that it helps promote growth, but it also has that conditioning agent in it that, doesn't completely dry you out. Co-wash, as we talked about, and then the scalp scrub, as Arian talked about, which is really great for people with dry scalp. Next slide, please. Thank you, thank you. All right, we got treatment products. As we talked about the damage repair line, all of the masks are great. I personally like the advanced hydrating mask and the super moisture mask. That's just my personal preference. Restore leave-in conditioner, IR, thinning defense. We know that is our prized product, along with our Rejuvenate oils. So all of those are really good for textured hair. Styling. So my personal favorite is the air dry cream. Now, I know that some people who do not have textured hair have mixed feelings about the air dry cream, but it's honestly all about the way that they are applying the product. So for me, I apply the air dry cream to my hair when it's pretty wet. I style my hair wet, and I don't towel dry it at all. I'll wring the water out, and sometimes I have to add in more water because my hair just sucks the water up. But air dry cream, I apply it wet, and I recommend for all of my clients who I do recommend it to apply it wet as well. It's going to be very moisturizing. Curl cream, another very moisturizing product. You don't want to give this to anybody who doesn't have, in my opinion, super coarse, or you do want to give it to someone who has super coarse hair. For me, the curl cream is kind of heavy, and I don't particularly like it for my hair type, but if someone has more coarser, tighter curls, I usually recommend it to them. We got the Flexi Hold Gel. That's for, just anybody who's looking for a gel product that normally styles with a gel product. Our styling taffy, you can use this for your edges. We will talk about language, and I think it may be the next slide, but essentially the baby hairs, we call those edges, and some people prefer to have them like slicked down and kind of like swooped. Me personally, I'm not an edges person. I don't really do my edges that much, but I have heard if you mix the Flexi Hold Gel and the styling taffy, that is a very good edge control. The taffy on its own, I've heard can work for some people it doesn't. We know that the taffy is more like a hairspray in the jar, so it doesn't have a super strong hold, but normally people who are looking for something to style their edges with want a good hold, because it's gonna, they don't want it to frizz up throughout the day. They don't want it to move. They don't want it to get, flaky. So using those two products together, I have heard do wonders for those people who need that kind of styling. Frizz Fix. Obviously, if your client is struggling with frizz, this is a really good product. Heat protectant spray for anybody who says that they style their hair with heat. We also have, I think, a cream, or the damage repair leave-in conditioner also doubles as a heat protectant as well. Definitely want to make sure that you have somebody with a heat protectant if they style hair. A blowout cream as well. I don't think we put that on here. Oh, it's right there. And then Rejuva beads, Moxie mousse. That's what I use for my wash and goes. We have the CC cream, which is another one of my favorites. I will say that the air dry cream and the CC cream work bomb for my hair. And then we got the glossy shine mist. So for people of color, they use oil sheen. So basically it's like an oil that you can spray. And this is like a lighter version of that. I love it. I feel like it's just like the Rejuvenate oil in, a spray bottle that smells really awesome. So those are styling products that are great for textured hair. Vegan oil sheen. All right, so here's our keywords. We got edges. So we just talked about that. I don't think I need to elaborate on that anymore. Length retention. So basically this is growth. For a long time before I used the products, my hair did not grow. And what I was looking for was length retention. I wanted my hair to grow. I wanted to have length. So that is a word that, you might hear or get asked. We got curl definition. Definitely need, if you know anybody with curls, we need the definition. Definition basically means, it's a good, like solid curl, and it's not super frizzy or anything like that. Curl pattern. So we didn't put on here, but if you've ever heard of like 3B, 3C, 4A, 4B, 4C, that's the type of curl pattern. It just means like how their curl is shaped. Me personally, I have a 3B, 3C shape to my curls. So that's just like the ringlets. I have like a bigger ringlet. My daughter, her curls are super, super tiny, but they're still ringlets. She has like a 4A, 4B curl pattern. Next is humidity. Obviously, girls with curly hair, our humidity is not our friend. It's not. It's gonna cause frizz. Our hair is gonna just, just poof up. Especially for the girls who wear their hair straight. When I wear my hair straight and it's humid outside, I might as well not even think about going outside, because my hair is just gonna poof up and be curly again. My hair is really, really sensitive to water. So like just even being in a bathroom with steam will make my hair poof up. Density. So this is going to be how thick or thin the hair strand actually is. Breakage, moisture, and texture versus ethnic. Did anybody else want to speak on that? Because I don't remember what we said that we were going to do with moisture versus texture and ethnic. Anybody?
Yeah, I got you. I feel like we all probably might jump in on on this, comments. This is a big topic of discussion. I feel like, especially for me, right? So when you see the word textured and then you see the word ethnic, it can get so misconstrued. Me personally, as a Black woman, I do not like the word ethnic, because it kind of makes it seem, oh, I could go down a rabbit hole, so I'm not going to do that today. But the word ethnic is just, I don't like it. Textured is where it's at. Bethany, if you want to pick me up from there, would be amazing.
I mean, I think it just, I think you said it all. For me personally, I think texture just describes our hair better. Ethnic, I feel like it puts us all into just a category, and that it's giving, exactly like Ariane said, exotic, or just, I don't know. I think textured, it describes our hair. Our hair is textured. We have texture to it. We have all different types of textures, which comes down to the curl pattern. Somebody like Cece, she said her hair is like more of like 3A, 3B. Somebody might have 4C, like, and just saying ethnic, we textured. Language matters. Ethnic, you also don't want to like offend somebody by putting their hair into a category, and texture just describes it better. We have texture to our hair, and we have all different types of texture. So
Yes, thank you for that. And you know what, we really don't want to make this like a history lesson, you know what I'm saying? Which is why I like to tread a little lightly on sometimes with these conversations. But if you were on the last call, you know, like when it comes to D&I, diversity and inclusion, like I'm super passionate about that. That's what I do for my corporate job. So, you know, just going back a little bit to, you know, what Cece was talking about, and the relaxing, right? Like how my mom relaxed my hair out the womb, because apparently it just looked like if us Black girls had our hair straight, we would pass, right? We have the Crown Act and everything like that to support us now in the workforce. But when you say ethnic, it's just, it can really like tear us down, like, oh, that person just hair looks a little different because it's not straight, so she's beautiful because she's ethnic. Or it could go the other way, because you have sometimes some other, you know, people being like, oh, this Black woman is not gorgeous because her hair is not straight or may not be ethnic, you know what I mean? So I'm gonna stop there.
Okay, I appreciate it, because honestly, I was using the word ethnic, and it's good to get their perspective, because I personally didn't take any offense of it, but you know, learning that, you know, not everybody appreciates that word is something like very valuable. So I really appreciate you guys elaborating on that for me. All right, if you want to move to the next slide, please.
Which is my slide. So before I go to it, I wanted to speak on that. Just being a mixed woman here, when I hear ethnic too, it also just feels like it's more about my skin tone than my hair. And so when I hear textured, it's more like, okay, then what is the actual texture of my hair? Because I know it's not like my mom, who has pretty much loose, wavy, almost bone straight hair. I'm more like, I would say my dad, but he's Mr. Clean, Black version. So can't really say that. But if he had hair, I'd be more towards his. So, but let's just go to the next slide, which I'm excited about, which is about porosity. Because for the longest, like even when I started using Monet, I didn't know what porosity was. And also, if you Pinterest it, Google it, there is so many mix match like things about it. I think I've done like like my first year was just trying to figure out porosity and all the actual truth and the like BS behind it, because they sometimes, like for low porosity, they'll tell you, oh, you need to do LCO, which I'll tell you a little bit more about. But then there's others that say, no, it's LOC. And it's like, which one is it? Because those are completely different, and it will ruin your hair if you don't know what it is. I started seeing actual change in my hair once I figured out my porosity. So we're going to quick talk about the porosity test, which is super simple. And this is for any hair texture, by the way. So even if you are like 1A, which is bone straight, all the way to, you know, any type of 4C, you can do the porosity test, and it will help you figure out how to style your hair. But it's a lot of curly hair or textured hair. This is kind of more gauge, because it's way harder for us to figure out what works for our hair and makes our curls pop. So the porosity test, you brush your hair out, or you can just grab an old piece, it doesn't matter. But I recommend brushing it, because then it's what your hair is now compared to on your brush. I know some of y'all don't clean your brushes. That's a whole different story. Clean your brushes, pick that out, get that nasty stuff out. If it looks white, cotton, just It needs to go. It's been there for a while. It's deteriorating. So brush your hair out, grab a strand, and in room temperature, it is key that is room temperature, because if it is hot or cold, it messes it up, and I'll explain why in a second. If it floats, it is low porosity. I'll explain all about in details what they are. If it's in the middle, it's like about normal hair, and then if it sinks all the way to the bottom of your cup, that is high porosity. So the reason why you want to do room temperature is because porosity is all about the cuticles, and if you don't know about your cuticles, it's like little shingles, like a roof. It's whether or not they open all the way, so it lets in more moisture, or if it's just completely sealed. So low porosity, which is what I have, our cuticles are closed. They don't want to open. They stingy. They don't want no help. They need help, but they don't want it. My life, pretty much. And so that means it results in more dry hair, which makes it, as you guys know, more brittle, things like that. Then there is what you should be doing, which is clarifying your hair more. So I do the scalp scrub, which we all love, and like the apple cider vinegars. That is what I use most, like every other wash, because with our cuticles closed, it just causes a lot of buildup. And so it weighs our hair down. You don't get that volume you want, all of that. So you really need to clarify your hair more than the other porosities. That also means that since our cuticles are closed, you're going to want to use a lot of like a steam cap. So not heat. Don't get me wrong. Do not like blow dry your hair just to get some heat on it. You want to cause that natural. So even though there's those who say use cold water, we want more warm water. So even though they say rinse with cold water, that doesn't help us, because it just makes it where our cuticles want to close shut. So I wouldn't say go like full on hot, like, to the bone, but I would say warm. So then it opens those cuticles before you actually start using any type of product. Also with that, if you have a spray mist bottle to keep your hair, moisturized, make sure it's warm, because then you will get all that stuff into your hair way easier. Then there's normal porosity, which I don't like the word normal, because there's not really any type of normal porosity, but it just means that it's open enough that you'll get the product in without a problem. So this means that you want to use a lot more light moisturizing. So if you have a long list of what you're putting in your hair, shorten it. So you don't want to use like as much like deep conditioner, like all the time as you're leaving. It'll ruin your hair. It will weigh it down. You want a lot of light if you want that volume and that bounce to your hair. But you do want to deep condition your hair once or twice, just so it really keeps it in, like all the moisture. And you'll see like that growth just go Rapunzel. It is also where you want to do the LCO. So the LCO, L stands for liquid, C stands for cream, and O stands for oil. So you want to do it in that order. So you want to do liquid, cream, and then oil. Because if you do it the other way, it just won't layer right, and your hair won't get the most moisture, because it'll just get all blocked up. And that oil at the end, it seals it compared to other porosities. Low porosity, there isn't really anything. You can do it all different ways. We're kind of lucky that way, where you can do LCO or LOC, COL, things like that. It's all about your preference for low porosity. High porosity, your cuticles are like full on open, which it actually can cause more damage. This is where if you see a lot of split ends in your hair, no matter what you do, you use the Rejuva beads, you get daily or monthly trims, you're like, what is going on? You probably are high porosity. It's just your cuticles are like, hello, give me it all. It's being stingy. They're being stingy. They need to share with the low porosity people who, like, we don't want it, but we need it. They need to share. So this is where you want to use your leave-in conditioner to refresh your hair. So for those who don't refresh your hair, this actually would help it where you won't get as much split ends if you use your Rejuva beads and your leave-in, at least on the ends. One, it also will make your hair thicker if you do leave-in on your hair at night on a daily for high porosity. You also want to do the LOC style, meaning that you want to do the liquid, the oil, and then the cream. Because for this one, the cream, since it's a thicker like product, it seals your cuticles closed and you don't have to like have that much split ends, and it'll cause it where it starts to like make a nice smooth hair and you won't have split ends as much. You will need a more constant trim because you have high porosity. But the good news is on the bottom, like I said, your porosity changes. So once you start doing all this, you could probably go to normal, or you could just overdo it and go the complete opposite and go to like high or low. So I recommend checking like at least every other month your hair and doing the test and seeing if it's still the same or different. Because then you'll know like, oh, I need to switch up how I do things. So for liquid, does the gel count? I do it towards kind of in the cream, since the cream and the oil are all kind of close together. I would just kind of do it between when you're about to do your last cream or your last oil, if that makes sense. So like for me, I do my like blowout cream after my gel. So it just kind of has that extra layer of protection because I diffuse my hair. I can answer more questions because I know porosity is very confusing, and it could be a whole documentary like on Animal Planet long of what to do with porosity. So I can answer questions at the end too.
Did you see the one Taylor said, what counts as liquid?
Yeah, I think
Okay.
with the gel, yeah.
Okay, perfect.
All right, so I'm gonna pass it on now.
Good grief, I couldn't unmute myself. All right, so we got how to approach people of color about money. So you're gonna do it with confidence. These products work for everybody. We know this, and we just got to get more educated and more comfortable with it, and just present it as it is. 2, you're gonna ask specific questions about how they style their hair. So with people of color and textured hair, it all comes down to how they style is what products you're gonna give them. Somebody who doesn't use heat on their hair isn't going to need a heat protectant, someone who does use heat on their hair isn't going to need gel, maybe. Let me not confuse you guys. Okay. We'll talk more about that in a second. I have a cheat sheet and some other resources that I'll be able to send out so that everyone has basically it says like how they style their hair and then how what products they need. Then we're gonna have a hair quiz as well, and then just ask for help. Ask any of us if you have any of us on Instagram, or if you don't, we can drop our Instagram handles in the chat. Go follow us on Instagram. Ask anybody who has textured hair, give me tips like how I need help. Like this is what I've got going on. Just ask for help. Don't be ashamed. Don't be nervous. We're here to help. I get messages all the time, people asking me for help with recommendations, and I don't care to help. I just want us to be able to help people with textured hair use these products because we know they work. We know that they're the best products on the market. We just have to get it out there to everybody. You want to go to the next slide? I don't remember what's next, but objections. Was somebody else going to speak on this, or did?
I think a few of us, just where it fits in, just jump in. I know. So with talking with people of color, I know all of us have even been met with a bunch of objections that we probably had ourselves in the beginning of just wanting to know, does it work for our type, or just having the assumption that it just doesn't, just writing it off as these don't work for our hair type because we are used to having a small section in the store that said these are for your hair type. And so now with being in money and being educated on these products and the products that we were using before that were for us but not good for us, we know that these work for our hair type and they work for every hair type. I would use resources like our IG page that for not only these don't work for my hair type, but I don't see anyone that looks like me using these products. We have a whole Instagram page with tons of posts of just Black people and people of color using these products, showing results. There's a ton of before and afters. Bunch of reels and pictures of people that use these. So utilize the page, show them the page, pick out people on the page that have their specific hair type of the potential that you're talking to. I put it in there if somebody can type in. Thanks, Ashley. Yeah, that's our IG page. We run it. Everybody participates in it. So many people of color in my name that you probably didn't even know existed. But that is a huge resource that you can use for a lot of these objections. But we know it works for every hair type. You just learned about porosity, which is a huge factor. So you know that we have customizable products to different hair types and the way people style their hair. There's something for everyone. So just approach it with confidence, know your products and who needs what, and use the IG page.
And two, oh, sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was going to say, and to add too, I know we're used to doing just like one-on-one calls or three-way calls for business partners, right? But what also is a really good tip is do it for your VIP potentials too. Like I had a VIP potential ask me, hey, could we just hop on a quick call? And I was like, oh, I'm like, yeah, we can. Because one, right, then you get more of that human in, you know, that vibe, just because when you're DMing or texting, like things could just get misconstrued. But when you think about sales and getting down to sales, like in person, that's where it started back in the day. So I'm trying to myself implement a little bit more things. So if you're someone that wants to talk to your potential VIPs, do that. And again, feel free to hit us up, ask you that potential and be like, hey, like I know that you know, you have some objections or you have a few concerns. I would love to get my business partner, Bethany, or my business partner, Ariane, Cece, et cetera, Maddie, myself, literally anyone else in the business with textured hair, and just have them help you, you know, just figure out really what that true objection is and let us know.
Yes. So another one that's huge, which I know Ariane can speak on as well, but I don't need the products. I wear braids, I wear weaves, I wear wigs, you know, majority of the time. There actually was a girl in the business that she just straight up wore protective styles. Like she never wore her natural hair out and she was successful. So I know for me, I like wearing a lot of protective styles. I'm just now like wearing my natural hair now. But as far as I wear braids, with a lot of these, you have to think outside of the box as well. With braids, I know for me, I still wash my scalp. I still wash my hair when I have braids in. For one, my scalp needs that. I have to keep my scalp clean because I get psoriasis and dandruff. So I wash my scalp when I have braids. I refresh my braids with the products. Flexi Hold gel for like, you know, when your braids get a little bit old and things like that. The oil, you always need that when you have braids. Now our IR clinical serum while you have braids. Any style with your scalp exposed, we have products for that to keep their hair strengthened and protected and growing and nourished while they have these protective styles. And because although they are protective styles, if you're still not taking care of your hair underneath those styles or while they're in the styles, it can actually cause more damage than it can help. As far as weave, wash your products with the weave, like wash your extensions and your bundles with these products. I have extensions like you saw in the picture, the sew-in. I still have those bundles, and that picture is from 2021. And I still have those bundles, and they're and bundles just means extensions. So if you didn't know. but I wash the products with the damage repair line. I would style them with the products. And because I use these clean products on there, they still have their integrity and their longevity and still are just good as new. So I don't know if anybody else wants to go over any more of these.
I can do the next one where like you don't see people like us. I felt that way when I first joined because I joined a group where it was literally a lot of like blonde women. I love them, but I was like, I am alone. Awesome. I don't know what to do. And my upline was like, I don't know. I don't reach out to a lot of people with your hair. I don't know how you got on this. No, I was kidding. But she just didn't know what to recommend because she didn't have my hair. So I had to kind of teach myself. And also I just decided that I will be that person that people look at. Like it's one of my goals to be on like the Monet page because I got a pretty face. It needs to be on there. No, I was kidding. But
No, not just kidding. Have the confidence, girl.
but no, I feel like I want to represent those, the mixed group of women. So it's like, oh wait, there is actual like it's not just, all these other people. Like there's someone like me who has like the different texture that it's hard to find what to use because we were always in between and things like that. And like, oh, but she grew her hair, so I can grow my hair too, and things like that. So
Yes, and that just reminded me of one thing too. I don't know if we mentioned it. I know we're coming up to 9 p.m., but we also can have more than one texture in our head. For example, the front of my right, Sarah, I know you were just like, yeah, girl, because it's a mess. The back of my head, some might as well live up in there, but the front of the head is just a different game. And I just asked my hairstylist, I finally found one who works for me. He is a male, and let me just tell y'all something. That hair wash felt like something else. I was just like, I'm never going to anybody else. And he allows me to use my Monet products too. Anyways, I asked him, I was like, so what curl type do I have? And he said, you're more for A. I've had other people tell me for B. I had some people tell me for C. I had some people like all the different, and I'm just like, I don't even know what to believe. He was like, no, girl. He was like, you for A. He was like, the back is a little, he was like, but you for A. I said, okay, that's all I need to know. So we can have more than one texture.
and then like on the last one with the thickness, remind them of the porosity. That will shut that one down automatically. Whereas if it's, I need more conditioner, it's like, no, you might actually need less or like the different temperature of water or keeping your hair soaking wet compared to just damp. That also changes how your product clings to your hair. So it's not just about, oh, I have thick hair. Like, girl, I went from Cynthia to now, I'm a bush over here. You can't see past it. So my thickness has obviously changed. Like I could put my hand here, you can't see it anymore. So thickness has changed. And so for a while I did think I needed to do the, I don't need that quarter size that they say to do. I need more, but you don't. You just need to change your water. Which also FYI, totally off topic. If you don't have filtered water, look at it on Amazon, it's like $20. Put a little filter on your water because water harshness will mess up your porosity.
Yeah, I was one of those people that were like, I'm gonna need like, before I use Monet, I use like handfuls of conditioner. I mean like handfuls because I felt like it, it needed to coat my hair. It needed to be, I have a lot of hair. It's thick, like I have a lot of it. But also remind them that our products are concentrated. Like it's not a bunch of water like I was using before in the regular products. Like that was filled with a bunch of water, and that's why I had to use a lot, not because I had a lot of hair. If the products are good and they're concentrated, you're not going to use that much. Now, I will say I do use a little bit more than a quarter size, but I don't use a big, like it's not as big as my hand, like maybe like a $50. So, somewhere around there. But my hair's long, it's thick. I don't need to use a whole ton of conditioner. So
awesome. So we can go ahead and go to the next slide, which now we are wrapping up. So thank you guys for sticking with us throughout this call. We hope that you learned something that will help you expand your clientele. So for, coming to the calls, at the end of each of our calls, we do have a giveaway. And don't sleep on these giveaways. Y'all kind of slept before. And our last winner got a Starbucks gift card. I know y'all hear the toddler in the back. Sorry.
Yeah, so we were gonna share the recording too, Bethany. Before we end,
Okay.
Ariane's gonna talk real quick about the scalp scrub for Natalie.
Cool.
Yes. So I don't know if you have any specific questions. You can type them in the chat as I am speaking, but the scalp scrub really is for every hair type. Like Maddie was talking about, the buildup that we get on our scalp and all of that stuff, you definitely need to be lifting that off. Your scalp is essential for hair growth. It's like soil to a plant. So you have to nourish that. You need to get all of those dead skin cells, that dirt, that product buildup, and all that stuff out of the way in order to ensure that the nourishment and the oil and every good thing that we're applying to our hair is actually able to get into your scalp. So depending on, we talked about hair porosity and stuff like that, depending on your specific hair type, depends on how often you need to be doing that. But you definitely need to make sure that you are clarifying your scalp. So I definitely recommend it. I use it pretty often simply for the fact of getting the glue, like I spoke about, out of my edges and stuff like that. And it's just a gentler way, because water's not going to do it, to scrub that up. And it also, if you don't know, our scrub actually doubles as a shampoo. So you are clarifying and cleansing at the same time. And then I simply go in after that with the Renew, which is the hydrating shampoo for my scalp. So I don't know if that touched everything that you wanted to know about the scrub, Natalie, but yeah, definitely if you're not using it, that needs to be in your next order because it is very crucial.
Thank you so much. The reason why I ask is because that's one of the products I haven't ordered yet. And I'm like, should I get that? Should I get that? And in my mind, right, my hair puffs up like in the shower, like as I'm literally trying to wash it. I'm thinking, how is the scrub going to get in between my 4C hair and into my scalp and like scrub the way I need it to? So that was my initial thought, but I was listening to you guys, I'm like so inspired to order it because I'm like, I felt left out. I'm like, everyone loves the scalp scrub, but my hair type can't use it.
Yes, you can. You can for sure. The consistency of it is not what you would think.
Okay.
And when you rub it together, like I said, it turns into a shampoo. So it will be able to get inside your hair and scrub it really good. It's amazing. And it smells really good too.
That
That's
and
awesome.
get scrunchies. There's shower scrunchies on Amazon.
They
I don't
got
know if you-
shower scrunchies?
There's shower scrunchies
What?
that can help section your hair and not break your hair. Fun fact, ladies.
Wow.
Nice. Yes,
They
it does
used to have them
lather
at
up really well.
Walmart. They might still have them at Walmart, but I love the shower scrunchies because I know I'm not damaging my hair, and also it's not collecting nastiness in the fabric because it's like more of like inflatable material, if that makes sense. So it won't cause like, the nasty mildew inside of it, which low key is going into your hair ties when you use it. So I recommend looking into hair scrunchies for the shower.
I want to add one more thing. I typed in the chat. We didn't talk about locks a whole bunch. My husband has locks and he does use the products. I get a lot of questions about locks as well. Scalp scrub. We just talked about scalp scrub is for everybody. Scalp scrub is great for people with locks. Also, any of the apple cider vinegar rinse or the shampoo. I always recommend the oil, the scalp serum, and then the black 2-in-1. Those are my go-to for locks. If they want some kind of conditioner, I'll do the leave-in conditioner as well. But that, if anybody else has anything that they recommend to people with locks, but those are my go-tos. So I just wanted to throw that out there.
This is
I heard too that advanced hydration mask and the super moisture were good for locks too.
Yes.
Does anybody have any more questions?
Here's the scrunchie.
Okay.
Shower scrunchie.
Well, if any more questions come up, please feel free to DM us or DM the page. Yeah, they're asking for the link to the scrunchies, Maddie.
Right, I need that link too, sis.
I
Yeah.
got mine at Walmart, but I will find the link and I will post it on the Melanin of Monet. So
Cool.
go follow.
Oh, yeah, good. Yeah, that'll
And
be
the cheat sheet, we are gonna share that out as well. We're gonna like make a
Yes.
PDF and all that stuff. So we will share at the same time the recording, which is gonna be posted at the YouTube. We'll share the cheat sheet and then the hair quiz as well. Those 3 things.
Okay, Amy has a question. We can stop recording as well.
Hi, I have a quick question. So how do you know what your curl pattern is? Is like, does your hairstylist tell you that? Or I have a mixed niece and my sister does not really know much about it. So she's still at a very young age, and